Law number 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. In this chapter, the author depicts that it's always a good practice to spy on your upcoming powerful role or your enemy. There is never a dull moment or there is never a wrong moment to spy someone. To illustrate this, there is an example given from New York from 1900s. There was an art collector, art dealer named Joseph Duvin, who always wanted someone called Mr. Mellon as his customer, and Mr. Mellon never somehow liked this particular dealer, art dealer, and he was very wealthy, Mellon. So this particular dealer paid Mellon's staff from his own salary and learned about him a lot. And at right juncture, it took years to win this as a customer, to win Mr. Mellon as a customer. And then the second example is from famous Talleyrand of French as a foreign minister. He used to put a grapevine just to see how other people react from that kingdom. For example, that Russian king is going to kill a particular very close general of his, and then by looking the reaction he would know who would be his friend in the Russian Empire. All false information, mind you. And the third example given is from another king who used to do this kind of test on his most trusted folks by making sure that he wipes out all those people who do not build trust by spying on them. So you can read the book to get the exact example. And even in the art of war from Sun Tzu, the Chinese most famous warrior who wrote books or on whom this art of war has been depicted. He also said that all those masters or generals who win over and over again, they don't win by astrology or they don't win just by planning, they win by spying. In the reversal, a very famous example from Second World War is given, where spies became anti-spy. Germans were bombing London and all their bombs were not hitting target, and the reason found was German had spies in England which were again despied, so anti-spy. So these anti-spies were giving wrong information back to Germans, giving wrong coordinates, and because of that all the bombs which Germans were trying to bomb to London, those were not hitting, they were miles away from the target. Law number 15. Crush your enemy totally. In this chapter, as per the title, author emphasizes that whenever you get a time or a chance, you should always crush your enemies completely. You should not give them chance to survive. You should not let them go half baked or half pain, in a half pain. Do this completely. Let the root get out of the tree rather than trying to have a tree which survives half cut. And to emphasize this, to illustrate this, there are all the examples mostly are from the Chinese dynasty. There were two warriors called Yu and Liu, who were they were part of the same emperor fighting for them, but both had a very unique rivalry between them. And the one which was very powerful military wise actually lost over time, because he gave multiple times, which was Yu gave multiple times chance to Liu, and Liu ultimately took his revenge at a right time in his journey by fooling Yu multiple times. So the core thesis is as do not let your enemies go away. You had multiple occasions where he could have eliminated his prospective enemy. And another story is from Empress Wu, who became the lady emperor of the entire China for 10 years. And there are extreme stories shared for this Empress Wu, who actually killed multiple of his own son and all the enemies just to elevate to the title of empress. Back in time in China, women were not allowed to become empress. They were never given power, but still, out of all those odds, she was able to lead her country for 10 years. And another example is from China, where Japan conquered China in 1930s, and there were a couple of parties who were after each other, and Communist Party had only 10,000 people left, or the army of Communist Party had only 10,000, and they were almost decipated. But because of the problem from the other party, where he didn't eliminate them completely, as in Communist Party came back strongly, and in fact the other party had to flee to Taiwan. So these are the historical examples shared. And whenever you eliminate your enemy completely, there is no scope for negotiation whenever that individual comes back. And another sentiment is that people always remember deep scars, rather than people always remember some scars which you do to them, and then they come back. But if you do a full scar, a complete scar, people do not have a chance to come back. So the best way to eliminate enemy is to completely ruin him.